attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But
Bill Maher is taking aim at Whoopi Goldberg once again. And this time he's coming in with even stronger criticism.
Free speech. She should be there. She shouldn't get a timeout.
Not every single thing has to be for everybody.
Right.
We can have platforms that have stuff on them that not everyone on that platform or who consumes stuff on that platform enjoys. And The View is a particularly weird place to do a cancellation.
It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but isn't it interesting that it's called, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
That's correct.
Whoopi has become known for opinions that many critics call out of touch and controversial. But not many people challenge her the way Bill Maher does. This time, his criticism was direct, sharp, and completely unapologetic. So hit that subscribe button, and let's get right into it.
What did you think of Whoopi Goldberg saying it's worse to be a black person in America today than a woman in Iran? I see we were talking about the trans issue before, and the New York Times really has come over on that to the sort of the sensible, liberal, not crazy woke position. I think this is a great first step toward getting the Democrats back to sanity, and a second good step would be we got to do something about The View. I really believe that. I mean, could you just
it's huge in Iran.
Bill Maher takes aim at Whoopi Goldberg after she makes a statement that quickly falls apart once you take a closer look at it. He says comparing black Americans to women living in Iran overlooks huge differences in what their daily lives are really like. In Iran, women live under strict legal, government, and social restrictions. They must follow required dress rules, deal with constant monitoring, and have fewer rights in marriage, travel, and the court system. Many have also been arrested, fined, or even jailed for refusing to obey the country's mandatory hijab laws. At the same time, black Americans, while still dealing with real problems, fully take part in public life by voting, opening businesses, serving in government, and helping shape national policy. The difference is striking. Bill Maher argues this comparison is deeply flawed because it overlooks the harsh government restrictions placed on women in Iran while downplaying the freedoms that people have in the United States today.
My district in the great state of Texas is actually a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 25 points. As I said, I'm a direct descendant of a slave. My great-great-grandfather was born on a Rosedale plantation. I am literally being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. That's the progress because, like, a lot of white people had to vote for me. A lot.
So
I don't even ever want to hear Whoopi Goldberg's conversation about how it's worse to be black in America right now. That's a bit far. And my father, who's 75 years old, he was a man that was in the French quarters that had to go get a sandwich to the back door of the building. And his son is now a United States congressman in a white majority district in Texas as a Republican. That is America. That's America.
Wesley Hunt picked a powerful example when he shared the story of his great-great-grandfather, a man who lived through a time of open and undeniable oppression more than 100 years ago. That story alone shows how much the black community has moved forward since those painful days in American history. The journey from legal segregation and widespread discrimination to holding leadership roles in government, business, and culture is more than easy to see. It marks an enormous change. Because of that, critics say Whoopi Goldberg's comment misses that progress and presents only one side of the story. There is always room for honest criticism, and real problems still exist. But turning those issues into an unfair picture helps no one. People like Hunt believe this is more than just a weak argument. They see it as part of a larger pattern, where complicated social issues are reduced to dramatic headlines that chase strong reactions instead of reflecting the full truth.
Juneteenth. That's a Texas holiday. It began in Texas in Galveston. General Granger came and read the Order Number 3 that finally abolished slavery months after the war because the war took a time to get to Galveston. We celebrated that when I was a kid in Texas, but it becomes national a year or two ago, and Donald Trump doesn't want to celebrate that. To me, it's exactly what you're talking about. So, 600,000 people died so that we wouldn't enslave people anymore. And the fact that freedom won is a good thing, and we should honor that. That's what Juneteenth's about. And I don't know why President Trump doesn't want to honor that.
So I don't want it. I don't want Black History Month. I don't want all these days for it to make everybody feel special. I'm an 80s baby. Everybody's too sensitive anyway. We're all Americans anyway. This holiday
That's what Morgan Freeman said.
He said, I can't agree more with him.
Yeah, he said that to Mike Wallace. He said, I'm an American. Do you want to be called a Jew American? No.
On this issue, Bill Maher ends up agreeing with Donald Trump. And to him, that really isn't surprising. For years, Maher has criticized what he believes is excessive identity politics, and he sees this as another example of the same problem. His point is simple, but it carries a lot of weight. He believes that setting aside an entire month to focus on one racial group, such as Black History Month, may have started with positive goals, yet it can also create more division instead of bringing people together. From Maher's perspective, putting constant attention on racial, cultural, or political differences can end up making those divisions even stronger instead of reducing them. Rather than encouraging everyone to see themselves as part of one nation, it may lead people to identify mainly by race. Those who disagree say these celebrations are meant to recognize history, not separate people. Even so, Maher says his concern remains the same. In his view, real unity should include everyone equally, without any special labels or divisions.
White people celebrate Juneteenth too, and non-Italians celebrate Columbus Day. And
I'm all for any holiday.
I'm half Irish. Do I get half the day off on St. Patrick's Day?
But a lot of
I get half drunk.
Everybody gets drunk on St. Patrick's Day. That's a good point.
Did you have a question for the congressman there?
No, are you telling me you're black?
Yes.
Yes. You don't see color, right?
We don't see color.
Bill Maher's guest brings up an idea that connects with a lot of people. Maybe the country would be better off if people stopped focusing so much on race and started thinking more about what brings everyone together as Americans. The point isn't to erase history or act like real differences don't exist. Those differences matter, and they help shape who people are. Culture, family history, and personal experiences all play an important part in our lives. The argument is really about finding the right balance. When race becomes the main way of looking at every issue, it can take attention away from the things that unite people. Even if the goal is positive, putting too much focus on division can slowly weaken the sense of community. As the guest explains it, the goal is to respect diversity while still putting the country and its shared identity first. It's not about pretending everyone is the same. It's about not allowing race to become the center of every conversation, decision, or point of view.
Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you f***ed in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it.
Bill Maher then turns his attention to The View, arguing that the show often hurts liberalism more than it helps. From his perspective, the panel regularly leans into exaggerated opinions and comments that feel out of touch with everyday Americans. Instead of making liberal ideas more appealing, he believes those moments can push people away. Maher says many viewers aren't persuaded by what they hear. In fact, some leave feeling even more doubtful than before. He also claims that some liberals become frustrated because they don't think the show represents thoughtful or practical liberal viewpoints. According to Maher, Whoopi Goldberg often becomes one of the main faces connected to those controversial moments, adding to the public criticism. For him, the issue goes beyond simple disagreement. He believes it's about how the message is delivered, and he doesn't think that message is helping the cause.
Yeah, I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts and masks 2 years after the pandemic ended. And you can't define woman, person who menstruates. You're the teachers' union education party, and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person.
Bill Maher steps up his criticism by calling out Whoopi Goldberg and the hosts of The View. saying they often put what he sees as woke narratives ahead of fact-based discussion. As usual, his comments are direct, sharp, and leave little room for confusion. He argues that the show too often moves away from evidence and careful reasoning, choosing emotional arguments that don't always stand up to close examination. Maher says watching the program can sometimes feel less like an open discussion and more like a place where similar opinions are repeated without much challenge. He points to comments from the panel that, in his view, conflict with basic logic or commonly accepted facts, leading to criticism from people across the political spectrum. Maher says his goal isn't to silence anyone with a different opinion. Instead, he believes public conversations should be held to a higher standard and stay grounded in facts and reality.
You love to speak truth to power, and we always should, but you have completely lost the ability to speak truth to bullshit. The Democratic polling firm Blueprint told Democrats months ago that black voters, aka their supposedly liberal base, were more likely to find the president too liberal than too conservative. They also found that voters didn't just want Harris to distance herself from Biden, they wanted her to distance herself from what they believe the entire Democratic Party has become, a Portlandia sketch.
A growing number of critics believe the Democratic National Committee has lost trust with many voters, saying the party seems more and more disconnected from everyday Americans. That belief is one reason some people, both inside and outside the party, argue that Kamala Harris should step back from what they see as harmful messaging and ongoing internal problems. They worry that certain political messages are pushing moderate voters away and making it harder for the party to connect with a wider audience. At the same time, those critics admit the situation is not easy to change. Many of the leaders expected to play major roles in the 2028 election are closely tied to the same political direction. Because of that, they believe any major shift in strategy would be difficult, if not unlikely. In their view, the party remains stuck in a cycle where the same ideas, messaging, and approach continue to repeat, leaving little opportunity for a fresh start that could change public opinion.
I want to talk about Whoopi Goldberg because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So she was, everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no thing as karma, okay? Get over that. Whoopi attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid on a regular basis. It just happened to coincide. But can I just say this? I had on last week Ira Glasser, former longtime head of the ACLU, talking about free speech. Whoopi Goldberg, who, by the way, I hope is still a friend. We can disagree with each other. Should not be canceled or put off her show, as much as I totally disagree with her crazy statement. Free speech.
Over the years, Bill Maher has disagreed with Whoopi Goldberg many times, especially over some of the controversial opinions she has shared on The View. Even so, he has remained consistent on one issue that matters deeply to him: free speech. No matter how strongly he disagrees with Goldberg, he does not support removing her from the show because of her opinions. Maher believes that silencing someone for what they say, even if the comments are controversial or mistaken, creates a dangerous example. In his view, the proper answer to speech is more discussion, not cancellation. That is where he firmly draws the line. At the same time, he argues there is a clear double standard. Maher believes that if their positions were reversed, some of the show's hosts, including Goldberg, would likely be among the first to call for consequences against him.
But isn't it interesting that it's called, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America. There is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
That's correct. I think that's not actually, you're right, the name raises questions, and certainly there's been some much covered internal politics on that show, but I do think that, there is space. Even that show does have space. When Whoopi said what she said, there was quick pushback from other panelists. They were like, I don't know. Actually, I think that might not be right.
That brings Bill Maher to what he believes is the biggest problem with The View. He argues that the hosts often take a strong position on an issue and rarely move from it. When someone offers a different opinion, whether it comes from a guest or another co-host. The conversation can quickly become tense. Instead of encouraging open discussion, critics say the atmosphere sometimes feels more focused on pushing back than honestly exploring different viewpoints. They believe this creates the impression that there is little room for thoughtful debate or meaningful disagreement. When conversations become too one-sided, it can limit the exchange of ideas and push away viewers who see things differently. Strong opinions are expected on a talk show, but critics say what matters most is how those opinions are handled when challenged. Without space for respectful disagreement, discussions can start to feel less like open conversations and more like people repeating the same views. In the end, Maher argues that shows like The View too often place ideology ahead of facts, discourage opposing opinions, and add to division. He believes free speech and honest debate remain essential, but without balance, a show's credibility can suffer. Viewers may lose interest, and even the broader message it hopes to promote can become less effective. That wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.